Jiang been through many wars. I seen many empires rise and fall. But latest war was devastating on the power balance of ancient China. Once I was knuckle-headed royal guard searches the outskirts of Jinling Post House for my next victim. I was bloodthirsty, my hidden claw demanded the blood of weak. Little was I to know I would plant a seed of revenge in my opponents. My name was well known throughout the land as one of the most evil kung fu fighters in Jianghu. My wealth came from kidnapping and selling victims to local in at the small village town of Jinling. I could see my fellow students have the same bloodlust in their eyes. Not all of them was evil, but the air of the royal guards was full of hatred. It was and still to this day a dark place. It is something in the fog, in the leaders. The emperor would only allow the most cynical evildoers to practice the kung fu to oppress the masses. Even with all this being said, we had honor, ethic and morals. We kept the brawling and the slaughter at our hometowns. The big capital of Chengdu was place of duels, meeting kung fu fighters of other sects. A place where you could sell and trade with other salesmen. Finest of silk was grade 4 sliver armor, the rare skill mantis fist costed one holding of deals. But I felt like I was in the wrong place. The darkness of the royal guard suffocated me. I wanted something else with my path of kung fu. The empire was opening new path for kung fu fighter, but you have to betray your sect if you wanted to leave. Unless you was tycoon. You could move on, but you would lose all your learning from your sect. I had enough of the bloodshed. I hear whispers of a kung fu faction in the far jungle where you could learn the technique of tiger and dragon style. Little was I know that losing my royal guard teachings would take me on long path. Once I stay in the jungle with the animals, I found some type of peace. Even so, as I learn, I always admire the monks with their inner peace. I did not see the wars in the streets. I did not care about power. I knew I had a long path to walk in my story of kung fu. I had forgotten about my enemies, or should I say victims. I forgot about the seed of hate I had put in their heart. Their lust for revenge. All I could see was my own path. I was destined to join the Shaolin monks. I left Jianghu before joining the monks out of boredom, but I would return. If you do not know the past, you cannot understand the present. I'll have to go back, my fellow kung fu fighters, so you can comprehend the pain to endure. Why I feel as it my own fault that Jianghu have to turn evil. I thought it was like the cherry blossom. My acts would give them strength to go on and become stronger. I thought I was like the cherry blossom. The lethal blows from the jade claw gave them fury, the urgent to rebuild and become infected by the demons. At that time it was the one of the few jade chef claws that would be used in Jinegu. It was made to me by the best blacksmith in ancient China. His name was Grythok. He was fair man with dark humor and was taller than the average man. He took pride in his blacksmith skills. Often did he spend his time patrolling the royal guard. His favorite kung fu was Eagle Claw Fist. He was not only one of the most infamous royal guard Finns, he was the leader of a clan, the Goontang clan. Somehow, he took liking to me. We often spoke. The guild leader he was forbidden to attack me. He had laid out the word throughout the country that none should hurt me. But by his side was an evildoer on with so many. She was corrupted by demons that her eyes was like dark pits. She was part of the mysterious sect that worshipped demons. Her only goal was power. Her beauty would deceive men. Her clothing was very revealing to say the least, but she had no interest in seducing men. She would only use them for ultimate goal. Her romantic interest was of women. I did not judge her. We men can be very blunt at times. The sect she belonged to was called Wander's Valley. She wielded dual blades soaked in poison. Her name was Feeds. She was the vice leader of this clan. Somehow she broke the oath she sworn to take. She attacked me and I stood no chance. Not even to this day I know why she came against me, nor why she wouldn't listen to Grook. The oath was broken, he could not stop them now. Not only she was against me, so was many of their minions. I figured it was jealousy of my friendship with Grythok and the fact that I, a poor peasant, was given the mighty Jade Claw. Now veil was removed. From fighting at local inn with other drunks, I had to fight my way through Chengdu. My battle was eternal. Those who knew me well knew that I preferred dueling. But those days had ended. My only liking to the Royal Guard was the claw. I did not care much about the blade, even though I had one 2-star sliver or the tiger-slaying scabbard. Deep inside I prefer the dagger and the twin dagger. But mostly I wanted to rely on my fist and not weapons. As I could see it now, the eye was doomed. The jealousy and treachery had forced my hand. I had no option but fight. If they wanted me to be evil, well then let it be. I am what I am. So my struggle continues. As I left the Kung Fu faction of Beast Villa, I thought I was headed for greatness with the Shaolin monks. From place where we tame beasts in the jungle, I was now going to learn Kung Fu at the Shaolin temple. I learned how to be with nature, at peace with Mother Nature. But at the same time I was concerned, for I had not gathered chi to make me stronger. Somehow I felt empty even though I had new teachings. I master the style of dragon and tiger well, of course it would come in hand. But somehow I felt as I lost time to become stronger in my chi. I always knew chi was the most important part of my leanings, but by only learning how to fight and not gather chi, it was as if left behind. I also started to notice that some of foes had lost contact with their higher self. It was not the same man that spoke to me with sarcasm, not the same higher self that insulted me no more. He was full of fear, and his eyes. Yes, his eyes was not the as before now. Instead of bravery I could see fear in his eyes. He might have the strength of 20 bulls, but his movement insecure. No, it could not be. My enemy was no longer my enemy. He was stranger. Strange, fearful eyes stare at me. It's not the devil I know. As he slung his blade, his combinations was all wrong. I was used to train duelist with cleave moves. But this foe I used to know was nothing more than clumsy. But his armor and blade was strong. I could do nothing else but blame myself. It is my own fault, I am lazy. I had spent too much time at the local inn socializing with other drunks and listened to their stories about their glory days. Even though my golden armor was weak, I could take him on man-to-man combat. But I could hear the fear in his stuttering voice. He had broken my armor with his powerful jade blade. As swept in with iron head move I had come to master, I jumped up in the air and knocked him back. Then I grabbed him by the neck and his waist as I hit him with my forehead several times. Cowardly, he used trick the enemy as his life force was leaving his body. He screamed like victim that was being robbed for help. Even though he attacked me, I looked at him with a sneer. This would only anger him more. As I looked around, I was surrounded by more cowardly men. A whole gang with jade equipment. Blows, daggers, darts and kicks from all angles. This is not the devil I know. This devil is a stranger.